Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if we're just meeting, my name is Luke and I'm a full-time reseller. In today's video, I'll be comparing thrift stores versus garage sales. So as a full-time reseller, I go out and source products from thrift stores, estate sales, garage sales, yard sales. Sourcing product just means that I'm going out and looking for these items to resell on platforms like eBay, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace. All right, we're gonna start off with thrift stores, and this is where I mainly spend my time sourcing products over the past year and a half that I've been a reseller. I was a part-time reseller for a while, but now I am full-time. I spent a lot of times at thrift stores and not as much time at garage sales, yard sales, estate sales, which I do regret. And what I tend to realize is pricing at Goodwills and thrift stores like Salvation Army and Savers kind of just depends on who is pricing it. Because you got to think about it, they're all in the back pricing these items. Usually they have like prices for hard goods and stuff like that. But typically, sometimes it's the individual who knows a certain amount about an item that they price it at. So it can be a Louis Vuitton bag, it could be a fake Louis Vuitton bag, and they'll price it at like $300. And trust me, I've seen it before. It just honestly depends on the individual who is pricing that item. Another huge thing when you're sourcing at Goodwills or Salvation Armies, you have to make sure when you're getting electronics to test the electronics out before buying them. They give you a day to return it, but you don't want to do that. They have power outlets all around the store where they allow you to test those electronics out before buying them. And I 100% would recommend doing that before leaving the store. Because honestly, I've done it before where I just pick up an electronic item because I know it's going to resell. And then I get home and I don't list it for a day or two, and I plug it in to test it and it does not work. And look, it's 2 days later, so now I can't return it. So I'm telling you guys, if you are getting electronics, please keep in mind that you have to test them before leaving the store. You gotta. So there's the thrift stores that everybody knows about, the chains, Goodwill, Savers, Salvation Army. Cool thing that Goodwill actually does is on Tuesdays, I believe it is student discount day. They do a discount for the Army, and I think they do teachers as well. They do 20% off. I know my Goodwills do that in my areas. I've been to some Goodwills out of state that they don't do that. So it could depend just on your area that you live in. So definitely if you're a student or in the Army or a teacher, double check at your Goodwills and see if they do that on Tuesdays. Now, the individual entrepreneur small business thrift store tend to be a little more pricey than Goodwill, Savers, or Salvation Armies. And the reason being is it is an individual who is running that type of corporation. So I've tried negotiating at Goodwill sometimes, and sometimes they will come down on the price. But I've been to other Goodwills where they'll literally tell you, I'm sorry, what the price is, that's what you have to pay unless you have a coupon or it's Tuesday. We cannot give you a lower price than what the tag says. But I've also been to Goodwills where I asked the lady, would you go down in price? The best I could do is $5 off for you, and then I'll accept it. So it all depends on which Goodwill you go to and honestly which Goodwill worker you are talking to. And one last thing that I want to note about Goodwills is, and also Savers, I don't know about Salvation Army, but Goodwills and Savers, if you donate, they will give you a coupon. So I donated a couple days ago. They gave me to Goodwill, and they gave me a 20% off coupon if you spend over $100. And honestly, guys, there's a lot of trips that I go on to Goodwill sourcing out products, and I do spend over $100 at once. So I would 100% recommend if you are sourcing products at Goodwill and you're spending over $100, donate a thing or two. You know, if you don't use an old baseball mitt, or you don't use something that is sitting around in the house that you don't really feel like selling as a reseller, bring it to Goodwill. They'll give you a coupon and you can use it next time you source. Now on to garage sales / yard sales. And I must say, this has become my favorite way to source product. One of the reasons why is, honestly, a lot of yard sales and garage sales, you're gonna pay little to nothing on a lot of items. I did a lot of garage selling over the past weekend. I went to a citywide yard sale. I found a lot of good items. I found like a vintage fossil, vintage elephant playing the drums. I paid $5 and I flipped it in less than 48 hours for 20. Like, you really can't beat prices like that. And I noticed a lot of the stuff that I picked up over the past weekend is selling within this week. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I love garage/yard sales, because you make your money back quick. You don't have to hold on to the inventory as long. But the reason why my stuff sold so quick is because I knew what I was looking for, and I did a bunch of research before going out to these garage/yard sales. So I knew what to look for. And honestly, that's probably the best advice I have for you guys, is before going out to garage/yard sales. Obviously, with experience, you're gonna learn what sells quick and what doesn't. But do your research before going out to these yard sales, and I promise you, you'll get a good return. You'll see a lot of sales. You have to think about it, guys. This is people's stuff before they donate it. So they just want to make a quick cash, get rid of it. And if it doesn't sell, they'll probably bring it to the Goodwill. You also source at thrift stores. You're kind of getting like first dibs on the stuff that goes to these thrift stores at these yard sales/garage sales. So why not source product there? You're getting a look at it before it hits these thrift stores. It's the best, honestly, way of sourcing in my eyes. I have the most fun doing it. I can honestly say don't get me wrong, I love sourcing at thrift stores and I find a lot of good stuff. But going to these yard sales and garage sales, I pay little to nothing, and it's almost like going to the Goodwill bins where you're paying by the weight. You're getting a bunch of stuff for cheap, and you're getting a lot of profit. There's always room for profit. And a lot of the time now, people accept card, Venmo, Cash App. I usually bring cash just in case they don't accept that, but they usually have change for cash. So little things like that are very, very convenient. Most of the time, prices are always negotiable at these yard sales. If something is $8, try to get them down to $5. If something is $15, try to get them down to $12. Always want to get the maximum amount of profit, and the way you do that is negotiating with people, and people are usually very, very cool about it. I've gotten into like negotiations where like they say, oh, you play a hard bargain. Yes, a lot of people could be very rude when it comes down to negotiating, and they're like, oh, my price is my price. And I'm firm on that, and I totally respect that. But there's a lot of the situations where I negotiate with somebody and they respect the hustle. I'm starting to learn that you can find a lot of collectibles/vintage items. Over the past weekend, I found an American Tourister set, old luggage set. I paid $15 for it. I put it up for auction, and I'm hoping it sells for around $150. There was one sold comp on it, and it was $150 free shipping, and it was as good condition as mine. So hopefully I get a good amount of money for that set. I paid $15 for it. Now, I know I mentioned before I went to a citywide garage sale this past weekend, and I honestly can say it is the funnest thing ever. You got to think about it. Citywide garage sale. Every street you turn on, there's at least 2 to 3 garage sales. And I went later in the afternoon. I didn't go right at 9 a.m. when it started. I went around 12, 1 o'clock, and there was still so much good stuff. And I made so much profit over the past few days. Once I listed those items, it's so thrilling being out there. And then when you get back and list the items and they start to sell back to back to back, it's such a good feeling. And this is the reason why I started reselling. And the last thing I wanted to mention, at these garage sales, you can get a lot of electronics for cheap. DVD players, VHR players. You can get these type of items for like $5 and sell them online for $60 to $70 depending on the condition and depending on the model and brand and all that. But like I said, guys, if you know what you're looking for, you can make a lot of money. Between thrift stores and garage sales, don't get me wrong, I love thrifting and I love going to thrift stores and sourcing my product there, but I have to say, garage sales for the win. I love going to garage sales. It's such a thrill, and I make so much profit, and I don't spend a lot of money. I've spent $120 on garage sale trips in one day and flip all that stuff within 24 hours. And it's just crazy. It's a great feeling. I love getting out there. I love meeting new people. I love talking to people. And you're outside, guys. A lot of the garage sales are outside. So if it's a beautiful day, go garage selling, go out to eat, have fun. It's on a Saturday afternoon. I can't think of a better way of spending your weekend. So I want to thank you guys for your support. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.